Invocation to the Lord. Dear Lord, allow my spirit to rise to your heights, to drink from the true fountains of wisdom, and absorb your powerful vibrations of love and faith, of purification and spiritual and material strength, of spiritual power, peace, understanding, health, prosperity, and harmony to pour over my brothers and sisters. Lesson 17. Soul, Spirit, and Physical Body. Your physical body is a marvelous receptacle of the divine forces. Within that wrapping, sometimes beautiful and sometimes deformed, marvels are enclosed, emanating from the mind and love of the Creator. It is an imperative need for humankind, within the new era that is beginning, to delve more and more deeply into the wonders that are enclosed in that wrapping, which is your physical body, as an expression of the wisdom, power, and love of God. Science meticulously studies all the parts, organs, cells, and the functioning of the entire physical framework of your body. It thus finds answers to some questions, but many questions remain unanswered. Physically, the human body is an irrefutable display of divine wisdom. It has marvelous functioning, and apparently, it is self-sufficient for life functions. In fact, from the physiological standpoint, your body strictly carries out the purposes that you recognize it for. But there are other purposes, primordial purposes, which are spiritual in nature. All beings need, as they evolve, as an instrument, more perfect matter, to be able to manifest themselves and act in physical worlds such as yours. When the spirit is born, it is a divine seed destined to sprout and then blossom. In the process of the path it must follow to achieve this, that is, its evolutionary path, the being gradually reveals its multiple facets. Simultaneously, its marvelous powers bloom and develop, resembling the divine tree from which it was born. In its evolutionary path, when the moment comes for its contact with the physical plane, the spirit needs a physical instrument adapted to the point of evolution reached. And so, when the moment comes, it begins its incarnations. First, it incarnates in the animal kingdom, and in its moment, it undergoes a kind of metamorphosis in space, transforming itself into the conscious spirit. Then, it needs, in order to incarnate, a human matter. In the early human incarnations, the powers and faculties of the spirit are still in a latent state. Consequently, the being does not need a prepared matter to manifest those powers and faculties. That is why primitive beings, from the anatomical spiritual perspective, are different from evolved human beings. This means that there are certain spiritual organs in the human body which are developing and evolving to adapt to the needs to the spiritual being who will use it. There are feelings, concepts, and ideas that a primitive being could never understand as you understand them. It is because they are not physically, spiritually prepared for that understanding and for that feeling. Thus, considering them from the spiritual perspective and not only from the physical perspective, but there are also different qualities of human beings. In the physical aspect, they can be very similar, but be very different in the physical spiritual aspect. As the spiritual organs are not perceptible to your physical capacity of perception, you remain unaware of them. You can only know them through the teachings you receive from the spiritual masters and through the results obtained from the practices shown to you. Even though all human beings have these spiritual organs, in some they are still in a rudimentary state, while in others they are in a perfect state of development and evolution. The difference between them responds to the need, in accordance with their point of evolution, of the spirit that each human being manifests. Even though initially you were told that the higher beings descend to you, understand that the beings do not descend but project their forces onto you. However, what you need in order to absorb the vibrations that your spirit requires to obtain the true accomplishments is for your spirit to elevate itself, allowing the connection with ever more subtle planes. This allows you to adapt and harmonize your vibrations with the higher vibrations. The vibration of your mind is of a certain subtlety. The vibration of your soul is less subtle, and the vibration of your matter is much denser. If your mind is connected to material needs, concerns, or desires, the mental vibration descends, meaning it adapts to those denser vibrations. Consequently, your spirit, in its mental aspect, cannot elevate itself in order to surpass the vibration of the physical plane. Hence, to be able to connect with subtle planes, concentration and elevation of thought is necessary. It is not a ritual, nor is it an imposition. It is a requirement for accomplishment. Therefore, as you concentrate, eliminate all human thought, forget all desires, and let your mind be free. The time has not yet come for the profound teachings. There is in you a diversity of bodies that complement each other, that support each other, and that accomplish, as a whole, your human and spiritual life. The life of your spirit is the greatest force you possess, and that force is the one which, through your will, must rule your human body, your emotions, and thoughts. We can say that humans consist of three parts: soul, spirit, and physical body. If you analyze your physical body, you can see how many bodies, some denser, others more subtle, make it up. Your bone body is dense, your muscular body is somewhat less dense, your circulatory body is fluidic, and so on, with others we do not mention, but which you know and can determine. With this, we wish to express that in saying that your spirit consists of several bodies, we are not telling you anything exceptional, but something that occurs, and you can verify it, also in your physical body. In the spirit, we will determine the mental body, the emotional body, and the sensory body. And in the soul, the higher mental body and the higher sensory body. The soul, with a capital S, is the incarnated spirit. Its higher mental body expresses itself through the human mental body or human mind. Its higher sensory body expresses itself through the human sensory body and the emotional body. Together, they make up the human soul within the limits of the vibration of those human bodies, which is dense and impregnated with negative forces. In order for your soul, or incarnated spirit, to work efficiently and fully fulfill the task assigned to you, it is essential to purify your human mind and your human soul to the maximum extent possible. This way, your vibration can harmonize with the subtle vibration of your spirit and easily respond to the action that your spirit must develop as an instrument of the love of Christ in service of humankind.